In the particular case of credible fear, we have actually plussed up in the locations where we are screening people for credible fear. As a result, those screenings are getting conducted actually quite expeditiously.
Well, that's my concern, is that they're too expeditious. So my question is, how long is the average interview, and how many people are doing the interviews?
Again, I'll have to get back to you on the exact number. I believe
this is a hearing. This is a hearing about. This is a hearing about vetting.
Right.
So I'm asking a very specific question about vetting.
I believe at any given time there are approximately 40 individuals, give or take. We're going to get you the exact number, but that's the neighborhood of the number, who are in the locations where we are screening individuals who have come across the border, and they are conducting those credible fear and reasonable fear interviews, again, within the time frames that the law and our policies require.
Okay. You put a lot of asterisks on it.
You also asked me about the duration.
40 or 400?
400 is the total asylum core. So those individuals are doing credible fear and asylum. They're doing credible fear and reasonable fear. They're also doing the general work of asylum screening.
Okay.
As well in
so
locations
who are the
throughout
40?
United States.
Who are the 40?
The 40 are the ones who are deployed specifically to be meeting our goals to process individuals claiming credible fear and reasonable fear at the border.
How long, if you come across, and I'm assuming they've come across illegally, there's people that come across legally, but a lot of them are coming across illegally, how long are they detained until they've completed that process on average?
It's roughly, I think our target basically is 20 days. If they're in terms of either getting them into expedited removal or moving them into some sort of proceedings. A lot of those people obviously go into expedited.
So you said you're going to give me some additional information. When will I get that?
We will work to get it to you as soon as possible.
No, give me a date. Give me a date. I know it's the holiday season, but give me a date.
Given that, let's target the end of the first week of January.
The end of the first week of January. I think that's reasonable. Because the math doesn't seem to add up. Here's the problem. Refugees have the State Department and other assets working towards that, and I got huge, huge questions. But now as we look back at asylum, we're saying we got 40 people with 50,000 people coming in the door. Think of a football stadium, okay? Think of a football stadium full of people coming at us each year. You're saying that these people do interviews, background checks, write-ups, and they're not able to do that 8 hours a day. They got other responsibilities, paperwork they've got to do. Here's the problem. Here's what I experienced. When I went to Arizona and I saw people come across and they wanted to claim credible fear, they would go to a judge and say, an administrative judge, and say, Your Honor, you know, I got credible fear, and they'd read a little statement, and then the judge would say, well, okay, we're going to have to go through the adjudication process. And that adjudication process means what? What in Arizona is the next time we're going to see these people?
Yeah, that's the ordinary asylum process, and it is a number of quite a number of months before there's.
You mean years? Years?
It can be years, yes.
Okay, so in Arizona, when I went there last year, I believe it was last year, the dates they were giving out, the court date was for 2020. And so what often happens is the people have come here illegally, they claim asylum, they say, oh, you might have credible fear, we're going to give you a court date, and now the backlog is so big that they're not going to get a court date until 2020. And then what happens? They do what? They apply for a work permit. How many work permits are you handing out each year?
I don't know the exact number. I certainly can.
It's a big one. Now they're in the United States legally. They can work and they can compete with an American taxpayer for jobs and all the other resources. They get benefits. They go to our schools. They do a lot of things just like an American citizen does. And I got a problem with that. I got a problem with that.